G'day guys and welcome back. Last year in September, I did a video from Conspiracy Shay showing that the International Dateline was a time portal or some other crap like that. It appears that she's gone back to her old ways and is making the same claim again. Let's see if we can't help to educate her some. Enjoy. Now, as I said, I have done a video on Shay before, and the link to it will be way over there and down there, if I remember. Anyway, let's move on to Shay and see how bad this can possibly be.
Here's the globe on Google Maps, and it's pretty much the same as the flat Earth map.
No, it's not. It's nothing like the flat Earth map. This is the flat Earth map. Just a reminder of how utterly ridiculous they are.
That Alaska and Russia are almost touching. They're just divided by this crooked line, the meridian.
The crooked line? That's the International Dateline. I know you struggle with this. The meridian, well, for one, is on the other side of the planet. The anti-meridian, the line you're thinking of, is about 10 degrees to the west, roughly.
Actually makes it so they're a full day apart. So Alaska and Russia, 24 hours apart.
Okay, there is no portal, and yes, you are wrong. But you're not wrong about them being 24 hours apart. You're wrong about them needing a portal. Now, as the Earth is a globe, and it rotates, what happens is on one side of the line, it's Monday. On the other side of the line, it's Sunday. It's not that complicated. How you don't understand that is beyond me. The positioning of the dateline is more of a convenience because that gap, that tiny gap in landmass there, straight down, there's nothing there, nothing in that pathway. It's perfect. On the other side of the globe, anywhere else on the globe, it doesn't work. But right there, it's perfect.
If I flatten the map and we look at it like this, when we go up and down on the map, when we scroll down, we have a wall of ice that's impassable, nothing beyond it. Scroll up, there's also a wall of ice. They're not really showing it, but you can see Greenland is frozen. But this is also icy terrain. It's impassable. You can't go beyond it.
Fucking wrong. Okay, I can understand how flat earthers say there's an ice wall where Antarctica is, and they say it borders the outside of the world. But you have to remember, Shay thinks that the flat earth is square, rectangular. Looks like that. It doesn't. There is no landmass in the north for there to be an ice wall. I understand where your issue comes from with the whole flying from Alaska to Russia, because you think that this is what the Earth looks like, that they can't go from one side to the other. But that's not what it looks like. It's a sphere. It's a ball. I really need a globe. Really bad.
line to the left, the meridian line, it's basically just the end. It's showing the end of the map. This is where the map ends. And the areas Alaska and Russia are 24 hours apart. This map right here is more correct.
This is a case of, I've seen the map on the wall. This is how it look. Oh. No. That's a representation. It's not how it actually looks. It's not flat and square. Greenland isn't that big, for one. Greenland is tiny. Antarctica certainly isn't that big either. I saw it on a wall, so it looked like this. How did you even pass grade school?
The ball or the flat earth map, and I'm going to show you proof right now, because you should be able to fly from Alaska to Russia. It looks like you should be able to take a boat there. It looks like you should be able to take a paddle boat over there.
Well, you can certainly fly. You can certainly take a boat. I wouldn't recommend taking a paddle boat. It's really cold, for one, and it's a lot further than you think it is. Like, it's not just a couple of kilometers. I think it's like 50 kilometers or something. That's a fair distance.
But we know that this is all distorted. And it's also a lie. If you believe you can go from Russia to Alaska, it's no different than believing that we still travel to the moon. It's no different than believing that we're on a globe, and we're on a flat earth that looks just like this.
Okay, first thing, no, we don't go to the moon anymore. We used to. We don't anymore. There's nothing there. Why even bother going to the moon? There's nothing there. It's a dead rock. There's no point. We go to Mars now. Much further. Much more interesting. The dumbness has made me could just completely lose what I was thinking. Like, saying that the whole thing is distorted and fake. Like, how do you get up in the morning, and how?
Here are the flights from Russia to Alaska. From Moscow, we have 2 flights that stop in 4 cities. And if they were stopping in cities along the way, cities in Alaska, cities in Russia, that would make sense to me. But no, that's not how it goes. Russia, that would make sense to me. But no, that's not how it goes. We'll do Anchorage search. Okay.
Right.
So the cities that it's traveling through would be Amsterdam and Seattle. Why would it travel through the United States to, like, going south through the United States?
Because it's a lot closer. You're thinking Moscow is near Alaska, and Moscow is nowhere near Alaska. Luckily, I thought ahead and prepared for this. Let's have a look. Okay. Here we have Mother Russia. See the size of that thing? It is huge. See this yellow line? That is Moscow. Okay? Then we take the flight from Moscow to Amsterdam. That might not be exactly where Amsterdam is. It's irrelevant. It's just the Netherlands is quite a small country, so it's quite irrelevant. And then from there, now, Google Earth is showing it going over Greenland. It more comes around this way. It doesn't go over, as far as I know. And then it lands in Seattle, which is, again, this is a guess. I don't know exactly where Seattle is. It's around here somewhere. And then flies up to Anchorage. Again, a guess. I know it's around there somewhere. Now, that might seem like a long way, but from Moscow, they would have to fly all the way around here. And it's just not practical. There's no reason for it. Now, you could say, yes, they could fly over here, but you don't want to be doing that. At least this way, if something happens to the plane, they can land. They've still got somewhere to go. Going over, there's nowhere to land. If they have a malfunction, they're dead. Now, you might think that that's not going to happen. It does happen. Flights do have malfunctions. Better to eliminate the risk. Plus, trying to stage a search and rescue in this region of the Arctic, not going to happen. Not going to happen. If you crash here, you're dead. 10 minutes in the water, you're dead. There's no coming back from that. So they would have to fly all the way around here. And that is a lot further than flying from here to a populous city. And then, again, they would fly over here. And then fly up. Yeah, it's pretty simple, really.
Just directly across the ocean, like 55 miles, they say. And why do we have a flight that takes 10 hours from Amsterdam Airport to Seattle? We have travel time of 10 hours. And from Seattle to Anchorage, we have a travel time of 3 hours and 43 minutes.
Again, you're not paying attention. I know you can't see this, what I'm doing in real time. This little gap here, this 50 odd mile gap, that's not Moscow, that's not Anchorage. Okay, you get that? Not Moscow, not Anchorage. Anchorage is here. Moscow is all the way over here. Now, you see how far I had to turn to get to here? But there are flights going from Alaska. This is a live flight map. That's a damn busy airport. But we've got flights. Now, center screen. I'll try to highlight this in post. We've got Anchorage, kind of center-ish. And then you see these flights flying over to the left. And you also have flights coming from the right. Now, this was a live track when I took the actual image. Now, it's not a highly populated area that in eastern Russia. There's no need to have flights going there that frequently. But you can see from LA, there are flights quite frequently across. I don't know why you're struggling with this. This took me 2 seconds to look up.
We have the airport in Russia that I can't, Shemerityevo, AS Pushkin Airport. 3 hours and 40 minutes to Amsterdam Airport.
Okay, your map here is very dishonest. As I've shown, that's not where Moscow is. We come back to here. Moscow is there. Your map is saying somewhere around here. It's completely dishonest. Intentionally dishonest.
Amsterdam to Seattle is 10 hours.
Yes, and see how they're showing it going across instead of going across Greenland. That's what I was getting at before. Like it wouldn't come across this way. It would, go across this way, which is what it was showing.
From Seattle to Anchorage, it's 3 hours and 43 minutes.
Yes.
So we're going from Russia to...
Again, this map is really, really dishonest. Like, you're showing like the flight starting from somewhere here, like, and then coming all the way across when no, Moscow's there. Like, if Moscow was here, then yeah, sure, that would have flights from there to Anchorage. Not that they should, but they'd at least have flights from here to LA or whatever. But there's no point in having flights from here because it's not a populated area. Like, there's not enough population there to warrant flights. You think flights are cheap?
To Seattle to Anchorage. This is over an 18-hour flight. And
again,
there's no direct flight from Alaska to Russia or from Russia to Alaska. You can't fly from the east and end up in the west, and you can't fly from the west and end up in the east.
Really? Didn't I show that? Fly from the east to the west, west to the east. Ugh. Yeah. About that. And, I mean, it's Anchorage. No one wants to go to Anchorage. It's Alaska. It's cold. The only inhabitable part is, like, the airport.
Impossible. And it makes no navigational sense.
It makes
if
perfect
you can find a direct flight, then
sense.
feel free to actually post the flight, the actual flight, a bookable flight, and prove me wrong.
There is no flight from Moscow to Anchorage. No one can prove that. Like, you can't prove a negative. It doesn't exist. There's no need for people to go from Moscow to Anchorage. If there is, they take connecting flights. That's why we have connecting flights. Just because you can't find a flight that's direct doesn't mean there aren't flights there. Hell, you'd be hard pressed to find direct flights in countries like here, for example. You won't find a direct flight to small towns, you can still get there, but they're not direct flights. You have to get connecting flights. It's not rocket science. Anyway, big screen. Well, there we have it, folks. I do hope you enjoy this journey into the mind of Shay, a square flat earther. That is the most bizarre form of flat earth I've ever heard of. It makes less sense than normal flat earth. Like normal flat earth, you can kind of understand. But square? Come on. No. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, a special thank you to Purple Haze, Caustic, and Lisa for their continuing support on Patreon. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, that would be great, because I think I need to buy a globe. Using Google Earth like that is not always convenient. But if I hold the globe in my hand, I can be like a teacher and show you, this is where this goes, children, yes. While you sit there and go, oh, well, I didn't know that. No. Like the ignorant idiots I have to deal with. Until next time, friends, don't be a dick. That's my job.